Well, normally on a Tuesday night we react to movies that we've seen at the cinemas, but this is Thursday night and we've had a loaded week, so that's why we're doing it now. Hey everybody, it's Glenn here and Ben. How are you, Ben?
I'm very good.
We are trapped in the Zoom verse once again because of lockdown, so that's why we're coming to you in this format. And yeah, I said loaded week, so we had Good Movie Monday dropped on Monday. It was our spoof episode with David Zucker as our guest. Go back and have a listen; that's great. And last night, no,
We
Tuesday
spoof all over
night,
your ears. We spoof in your ears.
we do spoof in your ears. And what do we got? Tuesday night we had the video of David Zucker and my conversation. It, as I said on the show, was a privilege for him to be talking to me. And last night, Wednesday, we had a brand new segment up late with myself and Chloe, who is new to the team. So have a look at that one too. It's pretty fun. So what did we see this week, Ben? Gunpowder Milkshake. I beat you to it.
You asked and answered the question.
Yes, I did.
It's just as well because I was going to say Popcorn Taxi.
I keep saying bubblegum milkshake.
That would have been a much tastier movie title.
People keep asking me, like, what did you see recently? I'm like, oh, bubblegum milkshake. But we saw Gunpowder Milkshake, which is a new. How do you describe this one? In the review I did write for this one, which is in Stack Magazine, I described it as, if my memory recalls, Kill Bill and Sin City and Sucker Punch and Kingsman all wrapped into one with a bit of John Wick.
Yeah, less rape than some of those movies you mentioned.
But it is like it's definitely got the John Wick factor there with all of the henchmen kind of thing coming after and blah blah blah.
Yeah, it's 100% the Spice Girls meets John Wick.
And look, we saw this together and we had a brief conversation about it afterwards. And I was on the fence and I had to decide what I really thought of it. I had to go home and really have a think even before I wrote my review, obviously. And look, at the end of the day, I came out with a positive review. Like I did enjoy it, but it's not without its flaws.
Yeah, I did like it. I thought it was pretty good. The only thing that I got over pretty quick, and it is, funnily enough, a central theme of the film, is boys bad, girls good. And it was so belabored and in your face, like with zero subtlety. When you're like, okay, I get it, I understand, I know the times that we're living in. I get it, but can you how about you say it without saying it?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, look, that's always a little of a bone of contention with me. But look, once you get past that, look, the problem I had more was just it was a stylistic mishmash. Like there was a lot of styles going on that didn't necessarily flow into each other. For example, the film opens up with almost like a film noir Sin City type of. You got a diner, which is like a trailer diner, and then you got that sort of fake backdrop, which is sort of like a sunset kind of. How would you describe it? Like a really fake kind of looking sunset, which is supposed to sort of be sort of fantasy based. That's fine. I like the style. I thought that's what they were going with. It's kind of got that, like I said, Sin City Sucker Punch kind of vibe going for it. But then you get other scenes where everything is in a very real atmosphere, like in a shopping mall or in like a lake house, and none of it kind of adds up stylistically. That's where my problem was with it.
I didn't that stuff rarely bothers me in films unless it's so glaringly in your face weird that it takes me out of the film. I didn't really pick up on that. I know you did mention that on the night that that stuff kind of I thought it was like hyper stylized, so that stuff didn't bother me. Like I thought that the diner was a weird way to kind of rip off the hotel in John Wick. Like,
well, see, I thought the hotel was more of the library set in Gunpowder Milkshake. That's where, like, when we go to the library and we meet the sisterhood, that's where sort of the continental aspect of John Wick comes into it for me.
Yeah, no, but the library is just their hideout. because
Yeah.
the diner is where you have to give up. It's like the Continental. There's the Continental is the truce area. The
True. True.
no spilling blood in the Continental.
Yeah.
Whereas, and that's what the diner is supposed to be. The problem with that is that there was never any real sense of repercussions for spilling blood in the diner.
Yeah.
Like it was a waitress who wasn't a badass or anything like that. You know, there was no Al Swearingen kind of gatekeeper character
Yep.
in the diner, which that kind of struck me as weird.
The
And way to turn the Paul Giamatti character is for me the weirdest character in the film because so the beginning of the film, I don't want to give any spoilers away, and I don't think it really is a spoiler, but so she works for Paul Giamatti. Basically, he's on the board. The kind of the villainous overlords of the film are a mysterious, shadowy organization called the Board, which is a lovely little dig at corporate America.
the firm. The firm.
The firm,
Yep.
but the board of the people who control the firm.
Yep.
And he's a member of the board. And Lena Headey somehow screws up and has to go on the run, seemingly from the board. But then she leaves her daughter with them.
Yeah.
And then basically Paul Giamatti kind of becomes the villain.
Yeah.
Of
It
the
is.
film, but not.
It's an
but not
odd,
the villain.
It's an odd way to sort of exploit tropes for sure.
Yeah.
The character I liked the least was Angela Bassett. I did not think she fit into this movie one little bit. She felt out of her depth. Whereas, you had particularly Michelle Yeoh and was it Carla Guingo? I don't know how to pronounce her name.
Gugino.
Yes, she is a seasoned professional when it comes to these type of movies. She's in Sucker Punch. She's in Sin City. She does the Spy Kids movies.
She's
she she flourishes in these type of movies. And Michelle Yeoh, I don't know how to pronounce her name either.
As far as I know.
Fucking hopeless at names. But she also comes from the Crouching Tiger world. That's her thing. So I just felt Angela Bassett was really struggling to keep up with them, and it just bothered me all the way through it.
Having just recently kind of come off watching Jet with Carla Gugino, and she did the TV series kind of follow on to Out of Sight called Karen Cisco, and I just watched that. It's hard to watch her as the kind of let's say the less dominant of the librarians. Like
She's
Michelle Yeoh is
one.
perfectly cast. Angela Bassett as the angry one. And even kind of, I mean, Lena Headey was good, but
I don't like her. I don't like her.
I liked her in Parole Officer and 300 and even Game of Thrones. Like she played that character, although it got a bit weird. Once they got away from the books, her character got a bit weird. But that was all fine.
Yep.
But yeah, I didn't in this. I could kind of take or leave her. Like I didn't find any of her reasoning satisfactory, which is not her fault. It's in the script.
Yeah.
But I was able to I could move past it. Like the action was great and a lot more funny than John Wick. Like had a lot more kind of comedic kind of overtones.
Well, that's where I wanted to sort of bring it around to the positives, because I thought, firstly, talking about the cast, I think Karen Gillan is very good. I liked her a lot. I do enjoy watching her on film, and she's sort of proven herself to be a good action actress, particularly with like the Jumanji films. But yeah, like you said, the humor was great. Like there's a lot of funny stuff in here, particularly some good stuff with what's his name, old friend, Smiley. What's his name?
Michael Smiley.
Michael Smiley, yes. I loved all his stuff. The doctor / dentist. Yeah, I liked all that stuff. The action's funny as well. Like particularly, there's a nice finale sequence in the diner that just, I think we both belly laughed at one point.
Yeah, that's great. What's that? It's the action version of that scene in The Other Guys when they have the piss up in the bar.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's almost the Chapel in Kingsman, isn't it? Like just to a smaller degree. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think people that go along to see this one at the cinemas won't be disappointed. I think it's just full of enough fun. But yeah, just stylistically a bit jumbled for my liking.
Yeah, but I think it's fast paced enough and kind of frenetic enough that anything that you don't particularly like is over so fast, and you kind of on to the next thing that you don't really spend too much time thinking about the negatives.
And there is a great bowling alley scene. That was fantastic, particularly that
Yeah,
ball. Yep, which I won't
yeah.
give away.
I really liked it, and that mall, the mall. I did mean to kind of try and research where that mall was, where that bowling alley and stuff is, because it looked really familiar, and I was
All
like,
right.
where did they shoot this movie? And like, because it is a multicultural cast, like a not multicultural, multinational
Mm.
cast. So I was trying to think, did they shoot this in America, or do they shoot this in? Because it looks a lot like a shopping center I went to in France, in Paris. Now 10, 11 years ago, but like I remember at the time, like looking at that shopping center, this place is actually quite like cinematic. It's weird. It's like like for it's like a what's the not Melbourne Central, but what's that where Acme and stuff is? What's that called?
Oh, Federation Square.
Like Federation Square, but with actually good stuff and like shops and stuff that you actually want to go to around it.
Yeah, right.
You know,
Hmm.
not like a weird, like here's a bar and a whole bunch of empty space for nothing.
So, did you
Like
discover what it was? Did you get to the bottom of the mystery? What
no,
more
no,
they?
no. I meant to, and I want to go and kind of deep dive it and look at
Cool.
some of the locations, because the bowling alley was pretty cool too.
Definitely.
Um, everything
Cool.
was pretty
So
cool looking.
ultimately, it gets our tick of approval, thumbs up, worth watching.
Yeah, definitely. Like, what else? What else are you gonna do? Well, now nothing. You can't go and see it now. But hopefully, what tomorrow is tomorrow? If that is when the deadline, when the lockdown ends, if it doesn't get extended.
Oh, who the hell
Oh
knows?
no, was it? No, hang on. Was it where this is Thursday? So hopefully you can go and see it now.
Well, won't we be the fools if not?
Yeah, indeed. Well, if you're interstate and but not in Sydney, but if you're in like Queensland or in Perth or in Adelaide, those wacky Tasmanians who I don't think they've had a single lockdown the entire. Have they even had a case of COVID in Tasmania?
They've been locked down since the colonial days, my friend.
Yeah.
All
We're just
right. Well,
down there marrying their cousins and committing acts of genocide.
I'll see you on Monday, mate.
See you on Monday.